Everyone to the GCN relaunch party. We're delighted so many of you could be with us at the sort of kick-off of Pride, official Pride festivities. I am not going to take very long. I just wanted to say thank you for everyone for coming out. You hopefully have seen the new look by now. I hope you agree that it's pretty goddamn hot and sexy. Beyond proud of it, and I just wanted to say a few quick thank yous. I'm going to invite Brian up to speak if he is somewhere around. Basically, all of the GCN staff who've worked their asses off for the last month, thank you very much. A very special shout out to our designer Dave Darcy, who navigated this slick new look. That's how slick it is. You know, navigated it from day dot, and we're super happy with it. So thank you, Dave. Obviously, the rest of the staff. So Catherine, my sales pal, Kira, Aidan, Stefano, Aoife, our wonderful intern, and of course Brian, the editor. I will pass it over to Brian for a moment. So thank you very much.
Thanks everyone for coming out tonight. We've had a long journey up a long mountain to make this new version of GCN, and I'm very delighted with it. I just want to tell you that the paper that it's printed on is Irish water bill paper, and that's the God's honest truth. We went to our printers looking for a matte stock, and they were going, we don't know whether we've got that stock. And then he called me back and he said, well, we were supposed to be printing the Irish water bills, and we've fucking loads of that stuff. So, the demise of Irish water is the gay LGBT community is gay. Just when I was sending out invitations last week, I sent an invitation to my friends Catherine Zapoli and Anne-Louise Gilligan, and I didn't know at the time that Anne-Louise was in hospital, and I heard the next day that she was, and that things were not looking good, and I just wanted to say that I'm really sad that Anne-Louise is not with us tonight, and that Catherine is not with us tonight, or can't be with us tonight. Anne-Louise was always incredibly kind to me, and she was a powerhouse of a woman, but a very soft-spoken and kind and gentle and generous person. And I miss her, and I think she'll be greatly missed in Ireland. But I think that her tenacity and her strength helped change Ireland for the better for everybody in this room. So I'd like to give Anne-Louise. I was at the Gays launch last night, and it's 25 years of Gays this year. And I was, listening to the speeches and looking at the amazing, beautifully designed program, and looking at it was in a beautiful place the launch was. And I was thinking, Gays has been in GCN for 25 years. Like, for 25 years we've been representing Gays, and we've been representing. Well, actually, for nearly 30 years, it's 30 years old next February, we've been part of this community and representing this community in every way possible, and trying to do it in every way possible. And there's so many people that have been involved in it over the years, and I look at it, I can see lots of people who've been involved, and I can see lots of people who will be involved, because that's the kind of thing GCN is. It isn't just a magazine, it's part of this community. It's a place where this community speaks to itself, and it's a place where a lot of people get to speak to our community through those pages, and that's its job, and that's what its job has always been. And people say to me, why it's lasted it's lasted 30 years in a really, really difficult market. Publishing magazines is difficult, and magazines come and go. And people say to me, are asking, how has it lasted so long? And that's a good question. It's lasted so long through the power of people, I think. A lot of people in this room. It's lasted, we're funded by Hubble for people to work there. We have voluntary boards over the years that have been our publishers who, give up their time to help publish GCN. And it's there because of all of the people who read it, who care about it. And we know, because we get so much feedback about GCN all of the time, that people really care about it. Not all the feedback is great, but even when we get bad feedback, I like it because it means that people are engaged with GCN. And that's our job, is to keep people engaged. And that's what the redesign is about. It's about engaging, it's about growing up. In fact, I was looking at it today and I was thinking, what would I describe it as? And it seems to me like it's a grown-up magazine. And we're in a grown-up country. We have marriage equality here. We have a gay bishop. No matter what anyone says about him or what about his policies, the fact is it doesn't matter that he's gay. He's the leader of this country, and he got elected into that position in his party and by people. Well, he wasn't there, but he was elected by the people. But he is, the fact is, it doesn't really matter that he's gay. He's just the leader of the country, and that's why we're grown up, because we don't really give a fuck about that. I'd like to thank the current board of GCN. There are lots of board members, previous board members here, and there have been many, many board members over the years who volunteer and give their time and work with us. And the board at the moment are Steve, Caroline Kinsella, Brendan, Niall, Bago, Laura, Chris, Karen, Keen, Adam, Ray, and Daniel. And I have to read those names, it's a huge board. So thank you to our board, and thank you to all the previous boards and teams. Thank you to Rory and Shane and the staff Panti for hosting us tonight. It's good to be in a space that is gay-owned, it's a community space, it's used as a community space as well as a bar, and we're glad to be here. I'd like to thank the fantabulous contributors to this magazine, to this issue and to every issue of GCN, and that's thousands of people who've contributed over nearly 30 years of the magazine. And I'd like to thank the advertisers, of which there are many in this issue, thanks to be tipped off. But we wouldn't survive without them. And we thank them for believing that placing their ad in our magazine makes a difference to their business. I'd like to thank Dylan and the gang of Viral Bamboo. I don't know if they're here, but they are fabulous website designers, which is being launched today as well. And they work very closely with Aidan Quickly of our staff, who's our web manager, who did an amazing job in putting it together. And if you haven't seen, I don't know if it's live yet, but it is live. Check it out. It's absolutely beautiful. And finally, I'd like to thank the staff at GCN that I work with. I work with a great team of people who, it's like going to work every day in complete pleasure. It's a place where there's always great banter, there's great laughs, but we have a group of people who care really deeply about what they do, and care about this magazine, care that it's there, and care about working together. And I'm very proud of them, very proud of all of my team who are a team. We are a team together, and I'm proud to work with them. And there are Lisa Connell, who's Kira McGrattan, who's my fabulous assistant. Catherine Roger, who's as advertising with Lisa, who's Aidan Quigley, who, as I mentioned before, did Stefano Papalardo. who's just joined us to become our digital marketer. I'm really delighted to have him on board. And particularly to Dave Darcy, who's the designer of this issue of GCN and the designer for the last 6 years of GCN. And I'm so proud of what you've done, Dave. I absolutely love it. It is something for me to be proud of. It's something for me to be proud to present and say, look, oh, this is the magazine I edited, and that's because it's put together by our team and designed by you, and I really want to particularly point that out, and I absolutely love it. And also listening to Paul and Joseph, who work with us so I'm going to leave it at the stage now. I think Tony Walsh is going to come up and say a few words. Aoife, where's Aoife? Aoife, I'm so sorry. Aoife, our fabulous intern, she's been amazing. She picked John Brady as her icon, which really fucking annoyed me because I'm John Brady, I'm the middle child. Anyway, thanks Aoife. So Tony Walsh is going to come say a few words. Tony Walsh co-founded GCN with Catherine Glendon in February 1988. 88. So Tony's going to say a few words, and thanks everyone for coming.
I want to tell you a little story, a bit of GCN's backstory. In 1933, when Hitler became Chancellor, the first thing he did was send his henchmen and the Hitler Youth to the world's first LGBT community centre in Berlin, the Institute for Sexual Research, and they began to destroy the records of the centre. And on the 5th of May, 1933, they had a ritual bonfire of all of the records of the world's first LGBT civil rights organisation, and they were particularly intent on destroying all of the lesbian gay magazines that existed in Berlin up until that point. Does anyone know how many lesbian gay magazines were being published in Berlin between the 1910s and the 1930s? Does anyone know? Anyone? 6 lesbian and gay magazines were being published. The reason you don't know it is because Hitler and his henchmen, the Nazi regime, did such an effective job that they obliterated all of the early records of 20th century LGBT life. It's quite extraordinary. And when you jump ahead 50 years later to the 1980s in Ireland, we have a situation where Easons, the main distributor of Irish magazines and newspapers, is refusing to actually stock our literary journal, Identity magazine, if the words gay or lesbian appeared on the front cover. And what's really galling about this is that Easons at the time, the chairman of Easons, was a closeted homo. There's community for you. Okay? And in the same year, the government banned the only major European English language newspaper, Gay Times. They actually banned it because they considered it indecent and obscene. And they shamefully used the existence of the anti-gay laws that were criminalised gay male sex. They used the existence of the laws to shamefully ban our main conduit to information outside of Ireland. It's the same year. And you skip it a few little bit years later to 1987, Out magazine, Ireland's first commercial gay magazine. I was actually working on it as a journalist. I thought I had a future on it as a journalist, only to find that the Carlow and Leinster Times, which was printing our magazine, refused to print the second last edition in spring 1987 because they found a safer sex ad offensive. They refused to print it, and their refusal to print it actually buried the magazine. We couldn't survive. It was buried. And that same year, actually, just in case you imagine it's just a bunch of bobbers down in Carlow who are actually being anti-gay, we have a national newspaper like the Evening Herald, which is still putting the word gay in inverted commas, because they're still in denial of our right for self-determination. It's quite extraordinary. That's not that long ago. And it's in that context, and it's in that fearful and fearsome context that GCN was born. Because we were determined to have our right, because nobody else was giving us our right. Nobody else was allowing us to tell our stories. Nobody else was actually picturing us, displaying us, producing our stories in their magazines. You know, there were no positive role models. And because of that, it fell to us, it fell to the LGBT community to actually start telling our stories and to start platforming our stories. And GCN has done that consistently for almost 30 years. Bravo, GCN. And you know what? Community publishing, as Brian said earlier, community publishing, you know, it's a difficult thing. You know, you walk this fine tightrope of literary expectations, and I know it personally, because when we set up GCN, I wanted to call it vanguard, and at the time I thought I had loads of status because I was president of NXF, and they shot me down and thought I was being too frivolous and flippant. When we finally set up on Gay Community News, and it was really important, the community bit was really important, you know, and what's really extraordinary is we, this community, are all in it. We are all in it. Our stories and our photographs, for better or worse, have featured in it over the years. And if we haven't been in it, if you wonder why your story hasn't been in it, well then go and write that story. Talk to Lisa and Brian and other people. Go and write that story. Send in the photographs. If you live down in Ennis or somewhere and you're worried why GCN isn't getting down here to photograph your local pride events or whatever, take the photographs, send them up to Dublin. Be a stringer for GCN, get involved, own it. Make this a community paper that's worthy of all of us. And you know, talking about community, I want to take a moment to remember my co-founder, Catherine Glenton, who unfortunately died. She never lived, she died of a stroke, and never lived to see the paper that this has become. And I really, every day I regret that she is not here, because she was my conscience and my foil. When we set it up with 300 quid, and we struggled, we really struggled. I'm not going to bore you with those stories, but we struggled. But I want to take a moment to remember Catherine Glenton, the co-founder, and I want to remember everybody else who contributed to GCN, who is no longer with us, okay? And what I want you to do is to raise a glass to all our dearly missed friends who contributed to GCN over the years. We will never forget them, and thank you for everything they contributed to GCN over the years. So, I just want to say a couple of other things. One, remind you that GCN is of the community. It is for the community, it is produced by the community. Never ever forget that, ever. That is its value, that is its purpose. And you know what? It's almost 30 years old, which means it's a historical artifact, a little bit like myself. It's quite extraordinary. So it really is. I mean, I actually consider GCN the next best thing to an official record of queer life in Ireland. You know? Long may that continue. We have so much to be proud of, you know, we really do. And I want to thank all of the Currents team and everyone who's gone before them for everything that they've done to actually bring us to this point. Continue to be a voice for our community, GCN. Continue to be a conduit for our concerns. Continue to be a conduit for our dreams. Thank you so much.
It's not a place I have to hide in. Life's not worth a damn till you can say I